Hello, this is Mrs. Meyer. I'm your child's honors environmental science teacher. And now that I have access to the gradebook and have started entering some grades, I wanted to go over how the grading system works in environmental science because I realize that it is very different for many students from perhaps how they've seen grades before. And I didn't want there to be too much confusion when you as parents started looking at the grades as well. So first of all, hopefully remember from the syllabus that my main focus in the purpose of grades is for students to get feedback on how they're doing and to make steady progress in their learning. So that learning is never done, but they can constantly can go back and improve on their learning and try to get better. Also, I don't want to penalize students because they don't understand a topic right away. Okay, learning is not about being fast or the fastest in learning something, but working hard and eventually mastering the material. I would hate for a student to not understand the material right away and then have grades deducted for that misunderstanding, but then later understand the material very well, but still have those points counting against them. So the idea here is that students can make continual progress without being hurt by their early misunderstandings. So what I'm going to show you here in this video is a piece of what my grade book looks like. It might not be identical to what the students see or what you will see when you go in the student grade book, but I still think it will be helpful to understand how the assignments work. The first thing you'll notice is that there are different colors of assignments. So here we've got kind of tannish orange color for these assignments. Okay, all of those assignments are what we call formative assessments. And then there's a pinkish colored assignment that's on here. This is what's called a process standard assignment. And then there's the blue right there. That's a content standard assignment. So I'm going to talk about the formative assessments first. Hopefully you'll see right away that the formative assessments are out of 0 points. So you'll see on each one of these zeros. So they are not counting in the student's grade. So formatives do not count. So you might ask, well, why do we even have formative assessments if they don't count toward the student grade? Because this is a way for me to see how the student learning is progressing. Formative assessments are not graded on points or percentages, but levels. So there's levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so those are the numbers you'll see in the formative assessment. And again, try not to think about them as 2 out of 4 and 50% or 75% or 1 point. The learning levels indicate how far into the process the students are. So if you see a 1, that student is just a beginner in their understanding of that topic. If you see a 2, they've shown a little bit more understanding, but not yet complete understanding. Level 3 is the level of mastery, so that means that the student understands that standard at the level that I would expect a student after some time would be able to do. And a 4 means above and beyond the standard. So the student is able to show connections to that standard that weren't necessarily taught in class. They were making their own new connections to that idea. Again, they're not points, but levels of understanding, and that's why they are just shown as zeros in the grade book. It's really important for me to see how a student progresses. So if they start at a level 2 on a standard, and then the next assignment they go up to a level 3, I can see that their learning is growing. Or if the opposite happens, if they start at a 3 and they go down to a 2, then I need to talk to that student about where their misunderstandings are. So not only is that good for me, but the students can also track how their learning is improving. So in fact, all of these orangish boxes represent the standard for Introduction to Environmental Science, which the students just completed. And so you can see through those 5 formative assessments how student growth varied, changed, or improved over the course of the unit. Now the process standards and the content standards, you will see they are out of 10 points both. here, and then 20 points here. So these are assessed on a point-based system. But this point-based system is still kind of like levels. So both of these, the process and the content standards, are either going to get a 65%, a 75%, a 90%, or a 100% score in all those categories. Again, they correspond to levels of understanding, so mastery of the standard is essentially an A- in this class. So students can go back and reassess or redo both the process and the content standards. So if they start out at a 75% and they want to reassess or redo, they can jump up to 100% chance or 100% on the assignment. So again, giving students multiple trials to improve their learning is what this class is all about. Learning is never done. Students can constantly try to get better. So when you get all of these grades together, really in the end, the only two that are going to affect the grades on a final report card are the process and content standards. Again, they can be redone multiple times with multiple opportunities, so you'll see maybe scores changing in those areas. And then remember, the formative assessments do not count toward the final report card grade. Those are just simply feedback for myself and the students to show how their learning is improving or progressing. I hope that as the semester goes on, this becomes more familiar to you and starts to make sense. And I think for the students, they will really start to appreciate all the information that is in their grade, not just a judgment of what they know, but really shows the picture of how their learning has grown throughout the semester. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me about your child's grade.